Hello friends, welcome to Decode with Anu. Have you ever wondered why do people behave the way they do? Why do some trigger you? And why do you get along with some people very well? Some make you really upset. And you may wonder, is there a tool, a science that help you to communicate better, solve conflict, and also have difficult conversations? For this, we have Prantik Panigrahi here with us. I met Prantik about 10 years ago, and he facilitated an amazing program in my past organization. He is an international facilitator for many programs, including this. So we are going to know more about what is that science and that tool that will help you communicate better. And here is Prantik. Prantik, now what is this?
This is the tool. This is the tool. This is a tool called as PsychoGeometrics, which answers all the questions that you just asked to the audience.
Like what?
Like what? So this is
What is the origin of this?
So let me first decode the word psychogeometrics. Psychogeometrics comes in combination of two words. Psycho comes from psychology. Geometrics comes from the subject geometry that we have learned in our childhood. And geometry, the word itself means shape. So in combination, it becomes shape psychology. So it's a science of understanding people using geometrical shapes. The geometrical shapes are square, circle, triangle, rectangle, and this yellow is a squiggly.
This is really cute one.
Great, and that's my favorite.
So let's know more about it.
So,
and before you begin,
yes,
we would like to know where was the origin of this?
The originator of this science is Dr. Susan Dellinger. Dr. Susan Dellinger, she was a facilitator, and while working with people, in her organization, while helping them in her workshops, she started to identify that people have certain traits. They have certain characteristics which are very independent to each other. And that is why you must have experienced that two people behave completely different in a certain situation. So she started to decode that, and she started to name them that this could be a certain shape. So she started to creatively give shapes to those characteristics. And that's how psychogeometrics was born in the year 1978.
Very interesting. Very interesting. And how about telling us about each of these shapes?
Okay, great.
And also, let us know about which shape you belong to.
Oh, great. Surely. So, let's start with the first one. We call this shape the square. The other name for square that we use is the box.
Okay.
So, this square, if you just look at the shape, if you look at it this way, what does this shape signify? Help you understand. Just look at the shape and tell me.
That it is fixed.
It's fixed.
Yeah.
What
it
else?
has boundary conditions.
It has boundary. What else?
Well, whatever happens inside of it.
Exactly. So whatever you said about the square is exactly the personality the person will display. So what is the personality? Is the person, how the person feels, thinks, and behaves in the real world.
Exactly.
So this box, the square, will always work in boundaries.
Okay.
Quite rigid, very rule oriented, and very assertive that what they want to do is what they want to do.
Then they may be having a lot of boundary conditions, like at workplaces.
Exactly.
Some person, like I know of somebody, not in my organization, but otherwise, that it is 9 to 6 job, so they want to go back. I remember you mentioning about somebody like this.
Yes. So one of my participants in Mumbai, while I was conducting the workshop, she had one big problem, and her problem was with the mother.
Okay.
She is a typical square, a box personality, who works from 9 to 7. 7 o'clock she gets out of the office. Even if there is some pending work, she will just inform the boss, I will do it tomorrow.
Okay.
And she goes out. She reaches home at 7:30. But the interesting part is, at home, there is another personality who is waiting for her.
Okay.
And the other personality, if I have to just mention, is the circle. So if I have to talk about the circle, you see the circle has no sharp edges. It is a free-flowing shape. And this circle we call as the most friendliest shape or a connector.
Okay.
So the mother is a circle. So as soon as the daughter comes, remember, she's a box. She works in boundaries. So she also has a boundary. ऑफिस का काम छूट गया ऑफिस पे, अभी घर पे नहीं आना चाहिए
और मुझे ज्यादा कुछ पूछना भी नहीं चाहिए.
मुझे पूछना भी नहीं चाहिए. अब दिस मदर wants to connect. Yes. She wants to know ऑफिस में क्या हुआ, बताओ मेरे साथ, बताओ ना. And this person who works in a boundary, this person was getting irritated. माँ तुम हर बार क्यों पूछते हो? And this was one of the questions she asked me in the workshop. Prantik, I get extremely irritated. She is a difficult person for me. Then during the workshop, we understood the personality of the mother, and then we gave a small tip which worked for her. The mother's circles need was also fulfilled. Her need was also fulfilled.
Lovely. Prantik, please tell, I would like my audience also to know so that they also know how to deal with circle people if they are square, and the square people know how to deal with circle and
Vice versa.
So what tip did you give her?
So you have to understand, the box works in certain rigidity, okay, certain rules and regulations, and the circle is free flowing. She wants to know everything. How did she feel? How did the work went? So I asked the daughter, who was my participant, to assess her strength. Her strength is working on a to-do list. So can you just add one thing? Before leaving the office, make a to-do list.
1 second. That also means that the ones who are in square may be very good planner and organizers.
They are extremely good planner and organizers.
There you go.
Extremely. In fact, they spend many days rather, or a lot of moments throughout the day of planning their next day, next 7 days, or lot of things. So they are very systematic, very organized also.
Very structured.
Very structured. My mom is a box. So and I'll tell you, I'll give all the warning. People who have a square personality, a lady who is a square personality at home, my request is do not enter their kitchen. And remember, me being me, okay, you'll understand my personality after some time. I go to the kitchen, I pick up all the things, सारी चीजें बाहर निकालता हूँ, I use it, and I just keep it wherever I feel like, not the way my mom has kept. And the moment she entered the kitchen after I have entered, उनका latitude longitude हिला हुआ रहता है.
Because आपने चीनी का there you go, चीनी का डब्बा उठा के आपने गलत जगह रखा होगा.
एंड ज़्यादा दूर भी नहीं है. मैंने चीनी निकाला, नमक निकाला, लेफ्ट का लेफ्ट में, राइट का राइट में रखने के बदले मैंने जस्ट स्वैप कर दिया. इतने में ही मेरी माँ का लैटिट्यूड लॉन्गिट्यूड हिल जाता है.
I get that.
So that's how. So they are very organized, very systematic, to-do list, good planner. So I asked her to just add up one thing in a to-do list. Ki why before she leaves the office, just make a to-do list of what she's going to speak to her mother as a to-do list, because that is her strength. And I told, the moment you reach home, just open up the list and read out the entire list to the circle mother. So the circle feels, अरे मेरी बेटी ने शेयर किया, ऑफिस में क्या क्या हुआ सब, एंड इसका क्या है, इसने सिर्फ अपना बुलेट पॉइंट बता दिया. So the mother and daughter relationship healed.
I will tell you, when you are hiring interviews, ये बहुत help करेगा. Because then you can get the right person at the right place.
Exactly.
क्योंकि आपको कहाँ planning and organizing वाले लोग चाहिए, you can get them in that place.
Exactly.
And we'll know more about the other shapes.
Sure.
Okay. And tell more about the circle.
Circle. So, as I mentioned, it's a free-flowing shape. It is the most friendliest shape. Now, if you go back in historic times, in many of the culture, the circle, that shape was used to understand that this circle shape means harmony. So, this is the shape which loves harmony. It cannot handle conflicts.
And this is the shape which really connects with people.
It connects with people. So that's why we call circle as the most friendliest shape out of all the 5 shapes. In fact, I'll tell you, ISRO once called the circle कि हम चंद्रयान 3 भेज रहे हैं साउथ पोल पे. सर्कल ने बोला, ओके वेट, मैं कुछ खाना वाना बना के देती हूँ, मेरे 2 एलियन फ्रेंड्स हैं वहाँ पे साउथ पोल पे, उनको दे देना. So they are friendliest.
Really? Oh, you're joking.
Now I'm talking about my shape.
Oh, lovely. I can relate. Some people at home, some people at my office, some people in my team.
And my elder daughter is a circle. So circle are the one, if you have circle children, you will see them that the moment you enter the home, they'll come and hug you. They want to spend time with you. They'll bring water, they'll bring tea and ask you, Mama, Dada, how was your day?
I remember, so now my mother is a circle. She's a circle because if there is guest at home, na, she'll say, खाना खा के जाना है. हाँ.
कोई भी आए.
हाँ. लेकिन जो बॉक्स वाला रहता है ना, वो क्या बोलेगा मालूम? आप खाना खा के आए हैं. क्योंकि उसके प्लानिंग में उसने उतना ही बनाया होगा शायद.
Exactly.
है ना? और वो 2 लोगों का खाना होगा. And there's no right or wrong, I feel. It's all about identifying, right?
It's just, and we deliberately use the word identify rather than judging. We are not judging.
Yeah.
They are what they are. We are just identifying why they behave the way they do, so that we can manage that relationship better.
Yes. And also, you become so well, self-aware. Who am I? मैं कौन हूँ ये shape के अंदर? And then मुझे मालूम है कि I am, for example, I don't know, I'm not a circle though. Only a circle. There's something else I believe it could be. So, if I'm a circle, then this is my characteristic, and this is how the other one is a square, and this is how I need to relate with that person. That will help anybody solve any upsets,
conflicts, disagreements,
and even have difficult conversation. I keep saying that. Do you know it's very difficult to have difficult conversation at home and at workplaces?
Big time. And when we learn psychogeometrics, when I teach in my workshops, one of the most important line I say that people are not difficult. They are just different personality. And because they have different personality, now if we just take about these 2 personalities, so this personality has a different need and expectation. This personality has different need and expectation. The conflict is the difference in need and expectation. The person is not bad.
So the moment you get to know the need of the person, you are able to fulfill its expectation.
That's what the box did, na, with the mother. She went with her agenda. She just spoke it out. Her need was fulfilled. There was no conflict at all. She was peaceful.
And she got harmony.
She got harmony. Her upset was, मेरी बेटी share नहीं करती है. मुझसे क्यों नहीं बात करती?
But that also is, I heard, not now, recently, but in the past, quite a few women saying, my husband doesn't talk to me, newspaper लेके बैठते हैं. This is, I think this is during my parents' time. I think this is what
this is one of the possibilities. And interestingly, we always marry the opposite personality. कुदरत का नियम है हमें.
Opposites attract, ना?
Always.
इसलिए. अगर 2 circles get married, फिर क्या होगा? 2 boxes तो problem है, but 2 circles क्या होगा?
2 circles, अब just imagine कीजिए. It is, the need is harmony. The need is accommodating. The need is to nurture. So they 2 nurturing people will come together. So हमको लगेगा कि यार एक दूसरे बड़े प्यार से बात करें, सब कुछ करेंगे. But you have to also understand कि they do not have a very strong idea of growing faster. That is a small limitation that they have. Means goal setting करना है, planning करना है, to be focused on the goal, to reach to the top. नहीं है.
Whatever goal they have.
Just having a goal. Okay. So let's for having a goal that I will be number 1 in this, I will earn this much of money. So that may not be a circles thing. So when 2 circles come together, so there could be harmony, but you will not see them growing faster, because growing is a triangles thing.
But before we go to triangle, जो 2 circle होते होंगे, there must be harmony and they may be happy the way things are. है ना?
They are just happy. So you will not see them growing, and they are not.
Sorry, but do they develop also?
That's what you will not see them supporting each other for the growth also.
That means that they would not add value to each other.
Nothing. So that's why we say कि we are very comfortable with the people who are like us, but we are very efficient with the people who are not like us.
Yes. My audience would like to know, does those colors also have any?
Big time.
Please, let's do the circle and.
So this square is a blue color.
Okay.
So we call square as the most hardworking shape.
Okay.
And this blue color is coming from the manufacturing organization. You are a part of it, so you know it well. That manufacturing there is a term used for blue collar job.
Yeah.
And they are the bottom line people.
Yeah.
And they have the most hard work in the entire hierarchy. So because they are the most hardworking, so the blue collar job has been given to this. Because it's a hardworking shape. Okay. This circle is green. Green is soothing, nurturing, harmony, and it is a free-flowing color. And in many of the concepts also, green is used for harmony, to depict harmony. So that's why they have chosen green.
Okay, great.
That's how it is.
Let's go to the others. You had picked up the triangle.
The triangle. Okay. Now, if you look at the triangle well, out of the 7 wonders, which wonder is this shape?
This is the pyramid, right?
The pyramid, right?
Yeah.
So if you look at the pyramid, the philosophy of pyramid was, when the pharaoh died, they used to mummy their body, put the mummy inside the pyramid, and their philosophy was, the soul will come out, it will climb on the steps of the pyramid, reach to the apex, and the soul will transcend to the heaven. So the triangle shape is designed to rise to the top. That is the personality triangle. They are designed to rise to the top. They are designed to move faster to the top. They love to be. You keep a triangle anywhere in the hierarchy, they will rise to the top.
That's their characteristic.
That's the characteristic. If I have to mention a celebrity, then Shah Rukh Khan.
I was just thinking. And the color red?
The color red is a fiery color. It's an aggression color. So because red is very aggressive color in nature, in looks also, so triangle is also very aggressive. Triangle loves to rise to the top. Triangle aggressively rise to the top. So their focus is reaching on the top, apex. And they drive themselves extremely workaholic, and they drive other people also. This is my goal, let's work together, and I want you to work with me.
So they are inclusive, huh?
Inclusive in way, yes. The other challenge is they drive other people for their goals. So sometimes it may rub off negatively with the circle. Okay. Now, because they are very aggressive, they are very impulsive also, it also triggers the box.
However, the box would be very happy to work with the triangle because...
In terms of the planning and the organizing part. However, this is a quick decision maker, this is a slow decision maker. If in the hierarchy it is this way, this is the subordinate and this is the boss, and the subordinate is waiting for the boss to give decision, and this is a slow decision maker, so there will be conflict. And also vice versa. If this is the boss and this is the thing. So this person is expecting the box to execute faster, and he is planning, he's taking a lot of time in planning. So that's how people have conflicts. People are not difficult, they're just different personalities.
I hear you. And you are a global facilitator for this?
For this science. I can teach this science anywhere across the globe. So I've taught in US, US participants, German participants, in Dubai, Singapore, Sri Lanka, Australia, New Zealand.
Very interesting question here. I'm quite curious to know the other shapes, but wanting to know. Then region-wise also people are different? Like for the Asia region or the US continent and the Europeans, they are different?
Absolutely. So the country as a culture can be identified in shapes.
Tell me more.
Okay. Now I'll give you a country's name. You have to just think over, because you are aware of many countries, their operating style, and you have also dealt. So if I talk about Japan, as the entire, all the people that you have worked, the Japanese people.
They're workaholic. And they are national oriented, country oriented.
In terms of their working and process.
Very meticulous.
Very meticulous.
Even their small children are taught from childhood how to cross the road.
Exactly. So they take a lot of time to micromanage a lot of things.
And respect is in the DNA.
Respect is in DNA. They are very detail oriented.
Yes.
Methodical, detail oriented. Okay. German.
Triangle?
Triangle, yeah. So you have dealt with them, right?
Yeah.
So they're triangles, so they're very
Even
goal-oriented.
now.
So even if you look at the companies, Honda is a Japanese company. They talk about the mileage,
Yes.
the saving, fuels efficiency. BMW is German company. The style, the elegance, the power play you will have with the BMW. That's a triangle. If you talk about...
But before we go to more countries,
Yeah.
let's cover the 2 more shapes.
Yes.
We have
So-
not touched them.
So the next shape is this yellow, it's squiggly, the squiggle we talk
Okay.
about. So it's a squiggly line. And the interesting part is most of my participants, they do not pronounce squiggle well. So they end up pronouncing it as squirrel.
Acha. It's swiggle, huh?
It's squiggle. So squiggle, it's a squiggly line. So if you look at this shape also, it's a squiggly. So it's extremely random, abstract. There is no start, no end kind of thing. Okay, it's very abstract. So
These people are more creative?
extremely creative. So if you
But
look
creative and innovative, both?
creative,
Or they're creative?
they are very creative. They are innovative. They think completely different. They are not methodical. One of the challenge with them is they need new stimulation every day, every week. If such people are in your organization, you will hardly find them sitting at their place and working. They will be choosing to sit at different places on a different days and then working, because that's how they feel stimulated and they work.
Their communication also may be very different.
Their communication is their favorite words.
I don't know.
No, it's not about I don't know. Their favorite words are, I don't want to do because it's not fun doing it. Maza nahi aata hai. So fun, masti, maza, enjoy. These are the words you will naturally see them speaking. And one of the words that they use most of the time, chhod dena yaar, let it go.
Achha.
They cannot hold on to pain a lot for a very long time. Just let go. Just quickly. So very creative. Poetry, dance, drama, everything comes here.
Okay. So this is the artistic
shape.
Yeah. But these people would also not stay in relationships, personal relationship, and also in organization for long. Just curious.
Yeah, in a way, yes, it seems that way. But the thing is, one way that they live in the same with the same relationship for a very long time is they keep on creating that relationship as new every week. They treat that relationship, they do something or the other. Like for example, if I have to now disclose, I am this shape. Okay. I'm an Urdu poet. I write poetries. I do dance. I've acted. I do trainings. Okay. Even in my training, I do the one training today. If I have to repeat the same training next week, I'll do it completely different way. The ambience will change. The structure will change. Maybe one night before I change the PPT also. Okay. Because my squiggle needs something new every time. Squiggles can't do monotonous work. So one way that I live in the same relationship and I really enjoy that relationship is creating something new in the same relationship every week. And
I also think that every personality may be having more than one shapes.
Exactly, every person.
That could also be, which we will talk
Yes.
In some time. That is also one of the reasons that this personality may be staying in relationship and in organization, because this could be a primary, but there could be other influences of other shapes as well.
Exactly. So while we are discussing this, and thank you for bringing out this topic, is we all have all the 5 personalities.
Okay.
All the 5. Dominant will be one, which means that 80 or 90% of the time you'll be operating out of your dominant shape. But you also have the characteristics of the other shapes. For example, when I say that I'm a squiggle, but my business bag is extremely organized. I know which pocket has what. Even if you just wake me up at the middle of the night, you ask me, just open that bag, that pouch, you will find there. Okay, my business bag is organized. But my thinking way, my operating way is squiggle. So I'll be creative, I'll be innovative, I'll be fun. They are the life of the party. They have good sense of humor. Matlab, if I have to share one incident, so I was a part of a business community. So there we had to introduce about our business, everything. So I was sitting, there was another doctor and another person. Okay. So the doctor was a box and the third person was a squiggle. So the doctor stood up and he said about his business. And he was an Ayurvedic doctor, so हमने एक नया आयुर्वेदा च्यवनप्राश बनाया है जो मेमोरी के लिए बहुत अच्छा है. He introduced and he sat down. The other person, the squiggle who was sitting on beside, he stood up and he spoke about his business, sat down. In the second round, after listening, we are supposed to give some references to other people. So the doctor stood up and was reading out, okay, Karan, I have got this one reference for you. So I've got, Milind, I've got this one reference for you. And one more, इतना ही क्या था. साइड में स्क्विगल बैठा था, खुद का च्यवनप्राश खाना. So this is how it is. So, and something that you should know, the one who spoke that, the squiggle, was 62-year-old.
Oh my God.
So the humor always remains. The squiggle is always a squiggle. So that's how they are.
Great.
So let me share the fifth shape. This shape is called as rectangle. Okay. Now, though I have chosen a black color, but I'm not representing rectangle as black color. Now this shape is actually not a shape, it's a phase. We call this as a phase because हर इंसान at least once goes through a rectangle phase. कैसे? Let's understand. A person, whenever he or she changes the job, okay, gets a promotion, gets married, has a child, there is a death in the family. That means जब भी कोई इंसान कुछ नया experience कर रहा है, that person for some time goes into rectangle phase.
So that means the people who have a startup or they start a new enterprise or they have a new anything in their life, getting even a dog at home probably is when they are in this because they don't know how to deal with that.
Exactly. So any moment, at any point of time, if somebody is experiencing new, okay, if somebody has shifted to a new city, a new country, okay, maybe just change the home to another colony. Every time this person will be experiencing rectangle. Now this rectangle phase can remain for 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years or 20 years.
Really?
हाँ, वो कहना मुश्किल है कि कितना लंबा रहेगा.
Do you know any examples?
Yes,
of the longest one.
I have seen someone very close to the family. So I've seen that person being in rectangle phase for minimum 25 years.
And if somebody gets to know that he himself is going through the rectangle phase, how to come out of that?
First of all, with a lot of awareness, this person will have a lot of choices to make. Like for example, if I get to know that I'm in rectangle phase, the person has to know that I'm in rectangle phase, accept it, and I need to know that yes, I will feel confused. I will feel disoriented. I will have mood swings. Okay, for example, the teenage children, all of them are rectangle because they are going through a lot of hormonal changes in their body. So they have a lot of mood swings. Plus career के बारे में देखना है, ये करना है, वो कुछ करना है, competitive exam है. So they are big time in rectangle phase. So if the person, the child gets to know, like for example, my daughter, she's 15-year-old today, and she got to know about psychogeometrics being in rectangle phase when she was 12 or 13. So when she got to know, I told her that you will experience this, you will experience doubt, you will experience a lot of internal conflict. So once I said that, one day she comes home and she's looking a bit upset. I asked, Angel, what happened? No, Papa, I'm just going through a rectangle phase. So with a lot of awareness comes a lot of choices, better choices. So you have to be aware that these are going to happen. Now, if I know I'm going through a mood swing, I'm feeling low. So now are the tools that what can I do to make myself high, to make myself feel high. Maybe I'll go to a movie, maybe I'll watch a stand-up comedy, I'll go out, I'll jog, I'll go and exercise so that there is some high energy coming in and I'll move out of the low phase. Now what happens is people who are not aware, especially about the psychogeometrics part, they are not aware, and people who are in rectangle, they are not aware. Now they get labeled, they get blamed. For example, new employee in the company is a rectangle.
Yeah.
Now we do not know, as a leader, we may not know that this person is going through a rectangle phase. We see a lot of inconsistency in that employee. कि ईमेल भेज दो, हाँ बॉस भेज दूंगा, भेज दूंगी, और अगले दिन पूछा भेजा नहीं सर भूल गई. Then we start to shout, अरे इतना सा काम नहीं कर पाते हो. So now what happens? We are putting their moral down. So we as parents, we as the leader, we have the prime responsibility. If somebody is in rectangle, so show compassion. So you have to bring in your circleness. Okay, take care. Okay, ठीक है. What happened? Are you okay? Are you fine? Okay. Is the work getting burdened? Career का choice तकलीफ हो रहा है क्या? How can I help you, angel? It did that. And थोड़ा सा जैसे वो confident feel करते हैं, then मैं उनको छोटा सा target देता हूँ as per the triangle. So by being a circle and triangle, you can support the rectangle. Okay. अगर बाकी family member या बाकी लोगों को नहीं मालूम है, this rectangle learning himself or herself, the psychogeometrics part, knowing that I'm going through rectangle, which is not a bad thing. It is just a phase. So show compassion to yourself and then move on. That's how it is.
Very nice. Because this new employee, when they join our organization or any organization, so a new employee when they join any organization, I've seen that they do go through some, I can't say it's turmoil, but it's more like getting to know, wanting to understand, wanting to fit in, figuring out what is the culture, asking questions. Sometimes they go behind the desk. So that time you really have to be with them. And I will tell you also, Prantik, many organizations, the managers are very empathetic towards the new joinees.
Yes.
Because they know that they are new, they do not know how to deal with certain topics. So, yeah. Okay. Does these becoming aware of these shapes increases the efficiency?
Obviously. Now, if you talk about the circle-triangle combination, now triangle knows that the circle strength is empathy, the circle strength is connecting. So, as a triangle, if triangle is the boss, okay, or triangle is the parent, if they start to communicate in such a way that will nurture the strength of the circle. Okay, for example, circle, see, you have a great relationship with that person, and I'm somehow not very happy with that person's performance. You have a great connection. Would you just find out what is troubling him or her, so that we can help him, we can help her, and then make some better plans so that he or she grows. So this circle will go and connect, will get to know, because everybody can be friendly with circle, everybody shares everything to circle, so they will get to know. So now the triangle, that is not the strength of having a lot of people skills or dealing with people. Leveraging the circle, getting to know, and then the triangle will chalk out a plan so that we can help that person.
And that also, while you were talking, reminded me of one thing. See, every organization has targets.
Yes.
That is set by the triangle. Yeah. And they also always say that the organization, informal communication, everything, functions. Most of the things functions with informal communication.
Yes.
That is the circle.
The circle.
Yeah. Everything is below the iceberg. That's the circle.
Connection, people connection, emotional connection. Now, if the entire organization...
But one moment. Yeah. What's occurring to me, if somebody, you did mention that any human being has all these, but sometimes if somebody is these two and we are pushing them to have, connection, I think this would be a little difficult.
Very difficult. So you need to understand that this circle, the box and the triangle are left brain personality who are very logical, analytical.
And this is
and the circle and squiggles are the right brain personalities. So the challenge happens is we are talking logically to someone who is very emotional.
Exactly.
So that thing does not work.
So should we teach or we as my viewers the ones who are working in different workplaces, then do we really educate the triangle and the square, this emotional intelligence?
In a way, yes. Rather, it's not about just triangle and square. It is about everybody, because the circle also has to understand that it is not just connecting harmony, goody thing. Because
But it's also about target.
This is also about target. There are some hard things that you need to do. Now, the challenge with circle is, because they are so much emotionally connected, making accountable people for their task goes at toss. And this is where the box and the triangle create conflict with the circle. So now, as you ask, if two circles come together, who is holding accountable for what? So there is no accountability.
That's why there are different and various training programs in any organization, so that all the nuances are taught to all of them. Whoever is a primary shape.
So emotional intelligence is a science that every person has to learn, regardless of what shape they are.
What do you think about emotional intelligence? Is it very important for a leader? Your personal view, because you are dealing with this, and also I know that you have emotional intelligence, a lot of programs running.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
One subject which is very close to my heart is emotional intelligence. And PsychoGeometrics is a tool that helps us touch the emotional intelligence at a very finer level. However, even if it is not PsychoGeometrics, emotional intelligence, which is just 4 components: self-awareness, self-management. So get to know yourself better. What triggers me? I'll also help you. When I started to learn emotional intelligence, when I was getting certified for that, one of the things that the first quadrant says is self-awareness. I used to get triggered. I used to get very upset. I used to snap at people around me during a certain time of the day. So when I learned self-awareness, I started to decode when do I get irritated. So I saw that it's somewhere around 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock.
And why is that so?
Exactly. I again went back. Why during this time, most of the time I get irritated and upset. I got to know that I eat my lunch around 1:30. If someday I have skipped my lunch and I have been just working, by 3 or 4 o'clock, I'm extremely hungry. And at that time, if there is load of work coming in, my brain is irritated and I was getting irritated and snapping other people. So that thing made me aware, my self-awareness says that if I'm hungry and just keep on working in hungry body, I get irritated.
So you started having small bites.
So self-management is, I'll ensure that I'll finish my lunch by 1:30. If I'm not able to, I'll be aware that I have not eaten my lunch. If there is a scope that I can have like my protein bar or some shake or something, I will have it. If not, I'll still be aware that I have not eaten my food. I could get irritated. So let me be. So that's how I started to manage myself. So whether I'm a squiggle, box or triangle, doesn't matter. Emotional intelligence is one of the powerful tools every person should learn.
I have missed out one very important topic. You said Japan is a box.
Box country.
And Germany, as per your analysis, is triangle.
It's majorly triangle.
What is India?
India. So before I come to India, let us go to something very beautiful. What could be US? Fun-loving, innovative.
Circle. No, squiggle.
Squiggle. It's a very squiggly country. So if you see a lot of innovations happening, okay, they welcome innovations. They're not at all scared of trying something new.
Yeah.
So it's a squiggly country.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. And when it comes to India, so let's go to the history of India.
I was just going to say how it was in the ancient times, traditionally, historically, and today how it is.
So in ancient times, if you see, we have never initiated any war.
Even today we never.
Even today we don't do that.
We never do that, yeah.
We have always accommodated the people.
Yeah.
Portuguese came, okay, welcome. Mughals came, welcome, aaiye. Britishers aaye, okay, come.
Circle. Oh.
So we are majorly a circle country.
Acha. And today? I think there is also triangle coming in.
There's a bit of triangle coming in, but in the transition,
it's also rectangle.
We were in rectangle phase for some good time, and from circle, rectangle, and in transition we also became squiggle because we started to innovate. We started the Make in India concept, the startup culture.
Yes.
So something starting new, something going out of the zone, trying to do something new.
What is occurring to me when it is swiggle? There is fearlessness.
Fearlessness.
Yeah, people are more courageous. People raise their hands and say this is not right, which is happening.
Exactly.
Yeah, and what we say, raising the red flag, that is also happening.
Yep.
So this is what is a characteristic of a squiggle.
Squiggle, yes, and also if you see, squiggle is also very disorganized. So in the process, there are a lot of disorganized thing happening. Okay, so circle, a bit phase of rectangle, then a squiggle, and slowly. We are becoming triangle. So ultimately, to be the economic hub to a very superpower country. So we are trying to be a triangle.
This is amazing. Yeah. Does these shapes help to make career choices?
Yeah, exactly. Now,
some example you have.
If I talk about the box, let's go each shape. Now, box is very systematic, very predictable. They love predictable environment. They love agenda. They love process. They love procedures.
Do they talk more?
They don't talk more. They have also very less friends. So you'll never see a box having a lot of friends, but they will have 5 friends who are 25 years old friends. So they don't believe in the width of relationship. They believe in the depth of relationship. So they don't talk more. They're also not natural team player. They'll work with the team because they have to. But if given a choice,
they are there, but they are not really very participative.
If given a choice, they will not prefer to. So it's their preference. Okay? But because they have to work with the team in an organization, they will. However, that's not their preference. Okay? Not natural team player. So that's the thing. Now you see, they're very systematic. They're very organized. So their inclination, and we are not saying that it will be an absolute part. Their inclination will be to choose a career which is organized, systematic, something to do with analysis. So that's why you will see chartered accountant, maybe admin work, being a scientist. Okay, not an inventor, but a scientist. Okay, working with formulas, creating something. Okay.
But not a researcher.
Not a researcher, okay, but a scientist. So that's how, where there are rules. Okay, they can be a project head, maybe in manufacturing industry, production head. So they know that there is a stipulated time, they need to get the work done. So this is the way it has to be done. So they are the one. In my experience also says that boxers are the only one who read the entire SOP of any organization.
Yes.
So that's how they are. So these kind of job profile you will see, boxes are inclined to. Okay. Again, we say that these are not absolute, but yes, it influences the career choices.
This is so important for our viewers because once they are able to identify which shape they belong to, they are able to make the right career choice.
Absolutely. And this also helps the parents. Parents who are so worried about मेरे बच्चे का करियर क्या होना चाहिए, कैसे करूँगा, क्या करूँगा.
तो ये एजुकेशन पहले पेरेंट्स को देते हैं.
Big time. That's my biggest thing.
And I know you are a parent coach as well.
I'm a parenting coach. I'm a certified parenting coach. So a lot of parents come to me and they bring their child. मेरे बच्चे को counseling करो. I talk to the child. कैसा है, क्या है सब. I just casually talk and I make the child sit outside and then I have a 1 hour coaching call with the parents. So that's what I do.
I have a lot of questions there, but I'll keep it aside. Yeah, and so then we go to the next shape.
The triangle. So triangle, if you see, they are designed to rise to the top. So they are aggressive. So anywhere their aggression, leading. So one of the need is to lead department, lead teams. So they will always choose a job, a profile, work where they get to lead people. They are the decision maker.
And क्या होगा Prantik if they don't get to lead?
That silent desperation. They'll suffocate. So that's why you keep triangle anywhere. They will design themselves to rise to the top. So that's why you'll see them as project leads, project head, team leaders, business owners, having the startups. Okay, that kind of thing.
Does that really mean that CEOs, most of them, are triangle? Most, I'm not saying all.
It may not, it will
It
not be.
depends on industry?
It depends on the industry. Also, I will also not be biased, because I do not want the viewers to get biased कि CEO है तो triangle ही होगा. I don't want to get biased, but you have to understand कि there are few heads, CEOs, owners, founders
Who are circles,
who are squiggles, and who are not triangles.
like Ratan Tata.
Ratan Tata. So Ratan Tata ji is a big circle, a very, very powerful circle. So if you look at him, his philanthropy, everything, but he is leading such a huge organization.
Yeah.
Okay, but he's operating as a circle. And if I talk about squiggle, Richard Branson, Steve Jobs, okay, these are all big time squiggles. As a matter of fact, Kapil Sharma is a squiggle.
Really?
Right?
Yeah.
Hardik Pandya is a squiggle.
Yes, yes.
So look at their thing. They have chosen a very powerful career. But if you see, they are owners, they are organizers, they are founders of their company, organization. They are doing in their terms, not the typical way of doing from 9 to 5 or with some rules. They are trying to break every rule, the status quo of those industries. Right? Kapil Sharma was just a stand-up comedian, but now he runs a show.
Yeah.
So just because now the show is on his name.
Yes.
So that's how the squiggle is. Okay, he was a stand-up comedian, but he created something out of his comic zone. That's how they are. So that's how. So we will not say, it will be very, very injustice if I say that the CEOs or the MDs will be boxers or the triangle. Injustice. The only thing is, once you start to interact, you will see them, observe them, then you will be able to identify them better. But yes, they would prefer.
Yeah, prefer, and
place.
at the same time, I'm just wondering that the triangle piece may be not the primary, but would be secondary shape that may be dominating.
Possible. But whatever it is, triangle, even if it is dominant or a second dominant, they tend to be on the top. So the career choices they will have is, the inclination will be where they are achieving the goals, where they are leading the team. Like salespeople, okay, they get to know, because there are commissions involved, there are big commissions in sales. So many times triangles get inclined towards sales. I know in my last organization I was working, so one of the person who was into training, but he shifted from training into sales. And today when I recall back, he was a triangle.
Yeah.
Okay, because training had a limitation.
I am aware of some of the examples.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So training had a limitation of income, and he saw that the sales managers, they have got huge commissions. There's a possibility they can rise into a hierarchy at a very higher level with high income. The person shifted, and he rose. He rose to that good level. Now, if we talk about the circles, okay, as we said, Ratan Tata ji is a circle, and one of the most beautiful circle is Sudha Murthy ji.
Yes.
Okay. So if you see, she is the founder, she is the head of her organization, but her way of dealing is philanthropy thing, serving, supporting, that kind of thing.
Yes.
So she is a celebrity, she is a very powerful person. And look at how she is operating. She is operating out of the circleness.
Prantik, if one becomes like our viewers would know about these shapes, after looking at a person and observing only for some time, will they be able to then say, okay, this one is a box or this one is a triangle, and that it would be then identifying people that way? How would that work? Because it's really a small window that you really know that person.
Exactly.
In that one interaction. How would that work?
Thank you so much for asking this. So, viewers, you have to first get to know that whatever we are discussing, we are just discussing a small gist of what is the entire science all about. It's just 1% or hardly we are just scratching it off. So, whatever you have learned now, whatever you have heard, do not make it as an absolute thing right now. कि भाई कोई organized है, कोई सिर्फ aggressive है, या कोई बहुत ज़्यादा friendly है. एक दो characteristic देख के, do not just start, I will use the word judge here. Do not judge that this person will be a box, this person will be a triangle. Don't do that. Because as you mentioned, it's a very small window. So personality is how a person thinks, feels and behaves consistently for a very long time. So you need to observe that person for a very good time. Okay, so you need to observe whether this person is organized just in office or even at home. You should be knowing that also. You should also be knowing that this person is goal oriented only in office or throughout the life. This person is harmonious every time.
Because, Prantik, some people are different in office and
Exactly.
they're different at home.
Exactly. So that is why you need to know them for good consistent time. एक अच्छे समय के लिए आप जानो.
Then categorize them
then
into
categorize,
these shapes.
yes. So just and importantly, what I claim for this workshop also that you can identify the person's personality in 30 seconds. When I am saying this, in the workshop, you learn all the 24 characteristics of each shape.
I was just going to say that.
So once you have learned entirely, then you know.
Yes.
And today, I'm only constrained about this podcast. That if you have just heard that the square is organized, okay, this person is within boundary, this person is goal oriented, this person is relationship oriented, this person is creative oriented. सिर्फ इतना ही एक दो words जान के do not get into categorizing. Learn thoroughly, then you will be able to identify in 30 seconds.
Correct.
That is what I claim. So yes, just one or two characteristics, I don't recommend that. It will put you in trouble.
Then it is attending the workshop.
It's certain. Okay.
Yeah.
You learn it thoroughly and then you can do it very easily.
Yeah. But this can help for self-awareness. That
Self-awareness and people awareness both.
Yeah. And these shapes, you said in the beginning, each human being has.
Some of the
are primary, some are secondary. Does this keep changing?
Okay. Now, if you want to ask, will my shape change? Like I'm a squiggle. So will my shape change to a triangle or completely as a box? The answer is no.
Achha.
Okay, because once you are a shape, that will be a dominant shape for the rest of your life.
Okay.
In the due course, you will tend to adapt the other shape qualities. Like me being a squiggle, my second shape is a triangle, my third shape is a square, my fourth is a rectangle, my fifth is a circle. So this is when I identified myself. So I started to work on my circle because that was my least. And when I started to work on my circle, so during my coaching sessions, I am a complete circle. My listening ability increases, my tone changes, the way I ask questions, that quality of those questions changes, the capacity of understanding them completely changes, which as a squiggle or a triangle on a daily basis is not the capacity. So when I embraced my circleness, when I enhanced my circleness, when I got to know this, yes, circleness is less in me, I started to develop. So that's how. So your dominant shape, me as a squiggle, will remain as a squiggle. But gradually I learned all the shapes. Now if you ask me, yes, I can talk to any shape today effortlessly. But yes, it will need practice, and practice only with good information, the right information, thorough information.
And with the right facilitator.
Right facilitator. I have trained around 7,800 people till now in last 5 years. So it gives me a good command on this subject. So that's why I claim now that you can identify people in 30 seconds because of continuously doing every week, every month doing this workshop with so many people, interviewing many people, understanding. Rather, I have spent one whole day with one box, one triangle, one squiggle, one circle, and rectangle was there in my family when I learned this. So I was continuously observing them, thoroughly observed, identified. I made my own notes. And then that is what I teach. So that's why I make it so practical and simple, so that once you learn it thorough, you will be able to identify them in much more simpler way.
So I want to tell my viewers, if you want to learn about psychogeometric, Prantik is the person.
Thank you.
During conflict, and when you are aware that these are your shapes, but you do not know the shape of your, maybe at workplace or at family, then how to deal with that?
There's a old quote which says that if you really want to know somebody's true nature, give them some challenge. So in stress, in conflict, the dominant shape comes out. The most dominant shape comes out. So each shape has a different way of dealing with it. Like for example, the box. You will not see a box shouting aloud Okay, because their value is to respect. They need respect, they give respect. So you'll never see a box shouting a lot. So what happens is they use the flight methodology of flighting it off and going in silence, thinking, assessing, and just letting the situation calm down. The triangle on the other end is very aggressive, so they might use fight for whenever they are stressed out. The circle might use the appease factor.
अच्छा.
Okay, like okay, ठीक है, it's my error. Okay, थोड़ा. So thinking that अगर मैं appease कर जाऊँ, placate कर जाऊँगी या कर जाऊँगा, तो मैं बहुत easily उसको deal कर जाऊँगा. So they use that way.
Because they also want harmony.
They want harmony. That's their need. And the thing is, they also have a fear of being left alone, being rejected, being neglected.
अच्छा.
So वो fear की वजह से they tend to choose the placating. And the squiggle, who say, because they have very less span of holding the pain, so they tend to leave it very fast, and that's why, I mean, they have different style of dealing the stress. They might get aggressive, they might shout, but within 2 days or 1 day, they just move out of it, they move on. So every shape deals stress in a different way. So now, if you see that the person in front of you is a box, okay, and it's really stressed, so you will see that box becoming very silent. So I want you to understand that this person will choose silence. This person will want some me time. So ensure that you are with that person. Okay, that assurity you need to give. With the circle, who is so stressed, remember the fear is I will be left alone. I will be neglected. I will be avoided. I will be ignored. So that's why they are scared about that. So they start to placate. So tell them that I know that you are in pain. I understand. I can feel your pain. Remember, I am always there with you. You will never be left alone. Let's talk and let's find out how to come up with this challenging situation. Whereas the triangle, who is getting so aggressive, you need to first understand that the triangle is getting aggressive for a certain reason. It is not about you. It is about the event, the situation that has come up. Like one of the reasons could be when the triangle feels that he is missing out the control of the goals, control of his life. So that is one of the triggering point for triangle. So just take a pause. You take a step back, because that person might be very aggressive at that point of time. He's using the fight, he's abusing, he's blaming you, he could be confronting a lot of things. So do not take it personally. He's just triggered for an event. It's not even about you. The story is nothing about you. The story is about the event. So don't take it personally. Take a step back. Okay? And just thoda bhi kaam ho jata hai, then come and speak. I'm always there for you. I would like to help you out. How can I help you? The triangle may ask for help, may not ask for help. Okay? That is the person's choice. But again, all these people are somewhere upset, somewhere scared. So you need to handle them. And all of you should understand. जब आप खुश होते हो तब नाराज होते हो क्या? नहीं होते हैं. जब आप खुश होते हो तब नाराज बिल्कुल नहीं होते हो. लेकिन नाराजगी तब निकलती है जब अंदर से आप दुखी रहते हो. Only hurt people will hurt people. Don't address the behavior. Address the cause of the behavior, the hurt. What is hurting them? If you find that out, you'll change the behavior.
So true. And that brings me to one more question.
Sure.
Difficult conversations. Yeah. So in difficult conversation, again, is there a hurt? Is something that I really have to see, because there's a need.
Yes.
Yeah. And that need could be anything. You know, if we look at family, the need could be time. Need could be presence. Example. Workplace, the need could be increment.
Yes.
So in that way, how to handle these difficult conversations?
The same way, if you see that, so you have to understand the need, because you're talking about the need. You have to understand the need of each shape. There is a working need of each shape. Working with so many organizations, one thing before psychogeometrics that I used to observe was, if they wanted to retain somebody, the manager or the leader used to say, okay, just increase the salary, we'll retain them. But learning psychogeometrics, I understood that money is not the motivation for all the shapes. And many times it is not at all for any of the shape. So the box has a working need of respect. Only when they feel respected, they stay. So if this is kind of a difficult conversation that has come up, so you need to deal with the box with a lot of respect. Second, one of the working need of the triangle is to lead. So just find out whether this triangle is not getting the opportunity of leading a department, leading a project, leading a team. That is one of the need, because the conflict is always about need and expectation. The conflict is always about need and expectation. It is not about the person. The third, the circle's need is connection. Now, I have seen in one of the organization, one of the person who was a circle was given a task to manage conflicts between the union and the management. The circle could not handle and was frustrated and resigned. Because the circle wants connection. Circle cannot deal with conflicts. Circle is not designed to deal with conflicts. But what we feel is, many people feel, oh, this circle is so good in communication. The circle is so good with people. So I think the circle can handle conflicts. But understand, the need is connection. You have to leverage circle before the conflict arises. You have to leverage circle for the communication before anything bad happens. So develop the connection, leveraging the circle. And the squiggle's need is to create, innovate. And the squiggle is not getting any opportunity to create. Ideas are continuously being rejected. The squiggle comes up with, oh, this is a good idea, I think we can work it out. And you, without even looking at it, without even going depth of it, you are simply rejecting it. It will create a big, difficult situation for the squiggle to work.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, being a squiggle, I guarantee, if the squiggle is upset, humor is lost. You will not listen to a single idea from a squiggle.
Okay.
And you will not even experience the squiggle's presence in the room. The one who is so bubbly, one who is so dancing, so comic, becomes very silent, aloof.
Thank God I changed my introduction. Because you told me. I get that.
And finally, the rectangle. The rectangle is a change element. So rectangles, though they are going through a phase where they are facing a lot of internal conflict, they ask such questions which none other shapes could have thought of.
Oh, really?
So rectangles are the change element. So when rectangle is saying certain things, asking certain things, the best thing that I have seen to operate with them is, I am loving it, tell me more. Okay. Listen to them. Listen to them. They will open up, and probably they will give you certain ideas which none of the shape must have thought. So the difficult conversation is coming because of the lack of, there is a difference of need and expectation.
Very interesting. Last question, Prantik.
Surely. I hope not the least.
So, how does these shapes, so I'm going to the theme of our podcast, and the theme of our podcast is, who am I? Yeah. So, how does being aware of these shapes can support people to go towards who am I? And at the same time, even if they're aware that this is what I am, is also enough, and that would really take them to the next choices that they make, and they become more and more powerful in whatever they do. So, does this happen?
So let me share some steps to that. So that this will be kind of steps that all the viewers can also make a note of it. And these are simple 5 steps. First, accept all the 5 shapes are within you. Accept it. It's there by default. Okay. Second, identify your dominant shape and your least dominant shape.
Yeah.
Okay. So try to, whatever you have heard till now, okay, just try to. I know it's not all the entire characteristic, but whatever you have heard, just make a note of it. Like I identified squiggle is my dominant, my second dominant is triangle, third is square, fourth is rectangle,
and
fifth is circle. So I identified that. So these are my least strong dominant and the least dominant.
Correct.
Also write down in the who am I segment, write down how the dominance, this hierarchy of this dominance is impacting your life and relationship. For example, squiggle, me being squiggle, I'm fun loving, people love to be with me, I'm a big comic, so people enjoy with me. Great. But me being very less of circle, okay, in the past, I have negatively rubbed off many people. I have lost many good relationships. I have lost so many people. Just because the compassion was missing, just because the understanding of that person, the need was missing. I could not create the harmony with that person. So I've lost. So understand how is the dominant shape impacting your life and relationship, least dominant impacting your life and relationship. Third, do not use the dominant shape as an excuse for your bad behavior. Like for example, the square, if I have to talk about all the shape, the square will, do not use it as an excuse that I'm a square. I need to have a lot of data before I take the decision. You have not given me data. How can I take decision? So do not use this as an excuse. So as a triangle, I'm recommending do not use this triangle as an excuse. I'm triangle. I will be aggressive with you. Do not use it. It is not an excuse. Awareness is not an excuse for your bad behavior. The circle, for example, will not say, I'm only about harmony. Okay, so don't talk to me about target. Don't talk to me about leading the team well. No, don't use it for your bad behavior. Squiggles are very disorganized. Okay, many times they even forget the meetings. So you have given a time at 9 o'clock, you are entering at 10 o'clock saying that, now I'm squiggle, I'm so disorganized, I might be late. Okay, as a rectangle, do not use it, now I'm a rectangle, I'll always be confused. So do not use your dominant shape or the behavior with the shape as an excuse. Fourth step is embrace your weakest shape. Because the day I started to embrace my circle, I developed such great relationship. I can say now, today I'm blessed with great relationships around because I embraced my circle. And the final thing, don't resist the rectangle. Because the rectangle is a passage for a beautiful change to grow into the best version of yourself.
Super.
So this is how this lifestyle.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Prantik. I'm so sure viewers that you have enjoyed and you have got a lot of answers out of the psychogeometric different shapes. I'm also very sure that you are able to identify who you are, in which shape that you are, and so that you have your relationship, your health and wealth. We didn't cover health. Last parting notes about health is what Prantik is going to tell us about the shapes. But I'm so sure that you've got answers for all these three spheres of your life. Parting note from you to our viewers about health.
Okay, now with interviewing with so many people, I found out that these shapes also, they choose a different way of health regime. Okay, first of all, the square is very systematic, very organized. So they will choose a particular time for their health regime. And I've also seen, because they are not very loud, they are not very energetic, not very aggressive, so they tend to use like walking, cycling, okay, jogging, light jogging, that kind of things. Okay, so they prefer to have that kind of exercises which keeps them healthy. On the other hand, triangles are aggressive, so they might like Zumba, they might go to gym, weightlifting, something that pumps up their body. Okay, they will feel good in that. I'm not saying that it's absolute all the time, but these are their preferences. The circle, on the other hand, might love a lot of yoga, okay, meditation, pranayam, something that is very smooth, very free-flowing kind of thing. They will love to do that. And squiggles, on the other hand, they would be changing a lot of regimes. Today they will go for cycling, tomorrow for trekking. I know someone, a lady, who is a hardcore squiggle and a big trekker. She's a certified mountaineer. And when she attended the workshop, she said, "Oh, I'm a squiggle." Exactly. And look at the choices. Mountaineering, going for trekking. Every monsoon she is out for some trekking and doing some rappelling, ropeway. 2 huge mountains in Maharashtra, she is doing a ropeway. So look at the choices. So their choices will be very vague, and they might choose extreme sports.
Adventurous.
Adventure, very adventurous. So they might choose that. Rectangle, they will be skipping a lot of things. They might enroll for a gym, might enroll for yoga.
But not continue?
But not continue. They will leave it. They might feel bored and they might do something else.
Yes.
Because they're trying to fit in what works well. So this is how they might choose.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Prantik. Thank you for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my dear viewers. And if you have any questions, please reach out to us. Let us know. And I'm sure that we will connect you to Prantik. Thank you.